We're going to talk about No Nut November, which is often abbreviated to NNN. And this is an annual internet challenge of sexual abstinence and not masturbating during the month of November.
It originated in 2011 and grew in popularity among male users.
And although No Nut November was originally intended to be satirical, it was really, I think, initially supposed to be a bit of a joke. Some participants went on to claim that abstaining from ejaculating and not watching pornography had health benefits. What this reminds me of a little bit is dry January. Have you heard of dry January before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in dry January, it's a similar concept, but it's basically alcohol, right? It's like after all the excesses of the holiday season, a lot of people are like, I'm not going to drink any alcohol for the month of January. And it seems to me sort of like a similar challenge of let's take a step back from this habit and see a little bit about what life is like without that particular habit, alcohol, masturbation in it. And, and as someone who's participated in dry January, many times over the years and seen the value of it, I think that it has helped me gain perspective on, again, sort of the habitual rituals that we get into around alcohol and starting to see how you do feel without it. Now, I understand that masturbation and alcohol are two completely different things and have different effects on our mind, our body. But I do also think that those habits can be wrapped up in shame.
However, this is where it gets murky because the organization Nofap is an anti-masturbation movement which has been linked to religious organizations. Supporters of Nofap say avoiding masturbation for prolonged periods of time have many benefits, including enhanced focus and concentration and decreased pornography use.
And the Nofap movement endorses a very specific understanding of masturbation and human sexuality. And it argues that pornography is harmful. Nofap suggests that avoiding masturbation can help people regain control over their lives and avoid compulsive or addictive sexual behavior.
The Nofap movement says it has more extreme benefits such as depression relief or overall health benefits.
And Nofap goes on to say that people who feel guilty about masturbation or spend significant time masturbating may find avoiding it offers time for other activities, which may improve health. So what do you think about this?
My motto in life is everything in moderation. So, and there are people who have compulsive behaviors around masturbation. And if you are aware of this compulsive behavior and it's interfering with your life, then, checking something like this out might be a good option for you. However, it feels like they have an agenda and there's a lot of judgment around masturbating, and masturbating is a very natural thing and should not be judged as shameful.
I completely agree. And it's, it's a tricky thing though, because I think you're right on everything in moderation. And we know, as sexologists, that masturbation is healthy and normal. However, I think that when you add in just the 24/7 unlimited availability of internet pornography, and then you tie that with people who may be at home for a long time, or again, compulsive natures, you can see how it can potentially become, again, more compulsive, potentially out of control. And, there are risks for, and I know that I've worked with clients who have masturbated so much that their bodies, their penises don't respond to the feeling of a vagina because they're used to a very particular grip. And so teaching them how to come out of that is completely and totally possible. But it's when they're becoming completely acclimated, accustomed to orgasming, feeling pleasure in a certain way with a certain grip that's not able to be replicated by their partner, I think that's when things start to get tricky.
So, Amy, let's discuss what the experts have to say about sex and porn addiction. The American Psychiatric Association and the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders do not recognize porn addiction as an official diagnosis.
And the American Association of Sexuality Educators, Counselors, and Therapists also argue that there's insufficient scientific evidence to support the existence of sex or porn addiction.
There is no scientific evidence that abstinence has any positive effect on your mood, energy levels, or motivation.
There's also no scientific evidence that suggests that masturbation is harmful. Additionally, there's no studies that state that avoiding masturbation avoids any specific benefits.
My observation is there is a group of people who are compulsive about porn and masturbation, and it does get in the way of them having a happy, healthy relationship with themselves and their partner. However, the vast majority of people do have the checks and balances to not let porn and masturbation take over their lives. But for many years, and to some extent even today, sex and porn addiction were very sexy clickbait topics, and the media has really blown this out of proportion.
When you're promoting abstinence, then you're also simultaneously creating shame around the indulgence of whatever it is you're abstaining from.
I don't think there is an answer here. So I think it can be tough for some men to find balance between masturbating and watching porn. So maybe something like No Nut November can help a guy to take a step back and assess whether what he is doing is adding or subtracting from the quality of his life, relationships, and sexual experience. First of all, masturbation is a normal and harmless sexual practice that can be part of a healthy sex life. And masturbation offers some health benefits.
I mean, I will say one thing that I do like to say about masturbation, especially when talking about female masturbation, is you can't get pregnant. And if watching porn and masturbating begins to interfere with a person's daily life, it may be worth considering trying to masturbate less frequently.
And ultimately, it's up to you how you want to move forward. And I hope you can move forward without shame. Find out this and so much more by subscribing to the Sensational Sex Podcast. And please grab our free gift to you. Links will be in the description. And if you like this podcast, then make sure to check out this next one coming up.